Do women love red flags? There is a particular piece of opinion that I see being thrown around a lot these days. Women love red flags. Women love fixing the bad boys. She chose a toxic guy. She loves chaos. She loves the drama. Here's the thing, I think these statements are very lazy, and honestly, they are massive oversimplifications of what is actually happening. Let me explain why I think this. Number one, right off the bat, women do not have access to the internal workings of the minds of men any more than men have access to the internal workings of the minds of women. We aren't given a map to decode male behavior any more than men are given a map to decode female behavior. However, what we are given is a bunch of romance novels and a very tragic habit of overextending our empathy and our understanding to another, because a lot of us have grown up seeing our mothers and grandmothers do the same thing. The point is, when someone shows up with just enough charm, just enough ease, just enough of a vibe of I have been through things, it becomes easier to take them at their face value, sometimes even to project and attribute good qualities to them that they do not necessarily have, and to confuse emotional stuntedness with emotional depth. So it can be like he's distant, but probably he's just reserved. He's not mean. He isn't super open, but he's not cruel. And why only women? Men do this too. A lot of the times when they like someone, they attribute qualities to that person that the person doesn't really have. But yes, women are especially trained to dig deep and to look for crumbs of understanding because it has been harder for us to be seen and to be understood. But why do we make it a woman's responsibility to not be able to see through bullshit right from the get go, while we don't have so much to say about the man cooking up the bullshit? Why blame the abused and not the abuser? Secondly, as a woman, I can say we are often a lot more accepting of another person's complexities once they enter our circle of trust. And this doesn't just apply to men, it also applies to our equations with other women. Once you feel safe in another person's presence, even if it's momentary and even if it's fake, unfortunately, you become more forgiving of their emotional frailties. You become more open to doing the emotional labor for them periodically, thinking, well, this must be a phase that this other person is going through where they are not able to show up for me. But when time changes and I need them tomorrow, they will be there for me, of course. We operate very often on this unspoken rule of loyalty and having each other's back. Again, not just with men, but also with our fellow women. Once we feel like we can trust them, the problem is, as human beings, we very often trust the wrong people, both men and women. Also, I want to point out that women, on an average, do not judge emotions in men the way men have historically judged and pathologized emotions in women. Therefore, it unfortunately also enables us to give more room to play around with their emotions to people who aren't worthy of that room. It is an error in understanding, it is not a desire for pain or for chaos. Lastly, the thing that irritates me the most, and in my opinion is the laziest of all tropes, is that women love fixing men. Not only is it a major reduction and misrepresentation of something, it is one that is repeated so often that we as women have started believing this too about ourselves. The idea that women are drawn to broken or toxic men is tired, and it is also not true. And I will try to explain why. To be loved, if I want to define it in the simplest sense, is to be seen, not just be deeply seen and fully seen, but to be understood, to not be judged, and to be completely accepted, maybe even celebrated. This is what love feels like in the bones for a lot of people, both men and women and all genders. Now, if you are carrying some trauma, some emotional brokenness, some unmet need, or you are carrying just some form of existential discontent that has nothing to do with anything that has happened to you, to see people who seem like they are carrying similar scars, it feels like truth. It feels like recognition. You almost feel like if a person has never himself felt the pain or the brokenness or the existential dread that I feel, how will this person be able to see me where it matters the most for me to be seen? Also, on an average, women are better attuned to their own emotional worlds, and therefore they can be more aware of the scars that they might be carrying. There is another aspect to it, which is projection, which is where you believe that because the other person has seen or been through the same kind of pain or trauma as you, they will know how to move around you in a way that doesn't aggravate the wound, doesn't aggravate the injury that you are already carrying. In fact, the hope is they may even be able to provide some healing in a way that someone who hasn't lived through the same pain cannot. Again, it's a fallacy of understanding. Even if a person goes through the same kind of pain or trauma that you have, the same texture, the same color, the same feeling, what they choose to do with it and what you choose to do with it and what they choose to become and what you choose to become can be completely different. For example, when a child feels a deep sense of shame growing up, internalized shame, sometimes they may become deeply empathetic and deeply perceptive. Sometimes they may become very, very depressed. Other times, with the same shame, they may develop narcissism to protect what is left of their ego. So, the same scars can lead to very different personalities. As a human being at your core, you are going to want to be to another human being what no one was to you when you needed it the most. And you will also probably look for that person romantically who can be for you what no one was when you needed it the most. Sometimes trauma can look like depth, sometimes avoidance can look like restraint, and sometimes a shared pain with someone can look like a shared language that brings the both of you together. All in all, I am very tired of these oversimplifications that are actually victim blaming in nature. And as women, we should also stop believing in lies that are being told to us about us. There is always a lot more happening under the surface than is visible to the naked eye. Thank you very much.